Ever notice how these hiking videos make it something a lot more than what it is? It's really just walking in nature, right? Well, yes and no. Stick around. Now, if you're just walking through Central Park, a city park somewhere, I wouldn't necessarily call that hiking. I think hiking begins where nature really kind of takes the lead in the environment. Now, I know there's not a lot of places on Earth that have not been impacted by humans. I get that. But I tell you what, when you first step off the pavement and onto the rock and the sand and the dirt and the leaves and the sticks, something else happens. That's where hiking begins. And that's where you begin to feel and experience the real positive effects of being in nature. So in this video, we're going to talk about things you should know before you start this great hiking adventure. Now, the reason I started the video the way that I did is to help us all align and realize and maybe appreciate the fact that when we start hiking, we've stepped into a new environment, maybe a new world. It definitely has different rules. Rules that maybe demand a different type of respect in human behavior. And so the first thing you should know are the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. And these 7 principles are put out there by an organization called Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics. And they're really just 7 basic things we should all do just to respect the environment, to keep it natural, to keep it clean. And it's just out of respect for each other, and it's out of respect for nature. No, I'm not going to review them here. I'll put a little thing here on the screen that outlines them a little bit, but I would encourage you to go to their website. They even have a 101 course that you could take. So I hope you go check it out, and I hope you take the little course. I hope you get familiar with the Leave No Trace principles, because there's nothing that bugs me more than people who leave trash out in the woods, or mess it up, or leave it obviously disturbed by humans. And hikers obviously have gear with them, and there are what's called the 10 essentials for hiking. It's for safety, but it's also to make sure that you have a good time. And I put a link down below to the American Hiking Association that has all this stuff in great detail. Read about it. Check it out. So you want appropriate foot gear, and that depends on the season and the terrain and really what you're up to. The second thing is navigation. Bring a compass and a map, or bring some kind of GPS unit, just to make sure you don't get lost. You'll also want water and a way to purify it. And of course you want food. I suggest bring 24 hours worth of food, just in case you get stuck and you need to stay out there longer than what you had planned. You want to bring rain gear or some kind of wicking clothes to make sure that your skin stays dry, because cold skin means you could get hypothermia. You don't want that. Then you want safety items, like a flashlight, like a means of making fire, like a whistle, some sort of communication device, maybe some cordage. Bring some safety gear. You will also want a first aid kit. This also includes a bug repellent, or maybe some bear spray, depending on where you're going. A knife or a multi-tool comes in really handy as well. Don't forget sun protection with an appropriate UV rating. Make it as high as you can. Then of course you want a shelter. At least bring a space blanket, just in case you need something to shelter yourself against the elements. Now, I've had people ask me, do I need to bring all that stuff? Maybe if you have a bunch of people in a group, can one person bring one thing and one person bring another? Well, my best advice is no. Everyone should carry all of these things. And here's why. I've been on trips where someone else needed my help from my kit from these 10 essentials. I, in fact, have needed someone else's help because I ran out of some things in my 10 essentials. So it's not just about you, it's about everyone else that comes with you or that you might meet on the trail. And then another important thing you need to do before you go out hiking is to study up, is to get familiar with the area that you're going to. Look at a topo map, and that will give you an idea of how rough the terrain's going to be. And it just gives you an idea of just what you're about to get into. It'll also give you an idea of landmarks that you'll experience along the way. And this will help you in navigation. For instance, you might have a high point, you might have some towers, lakes, or streams. These kind of things will help guide you. If nothing else, it'll give you comfort in you knowing that you're exactly where you should be. You can also find information on apps on your phone or maybe websites about the area that you're going into. I like to use AllTrails. There's lots of other apps out there, but they have comments from other people who have hiked this recently, and they might give you tips on exactly what to expect, or maybe some tips on the things that you should do or expect while you're out there. And try to find information about cell coverage. If you're using your phone for navigation, or if you're expecting to use it for communication, you want to know that you're going to have cell coverage out there. Or you would have to bring a satellite communicator of some sort in order to communicate. Whichever you do, just be prepared for it and know what you're getting into. Determine how long the trail is going to be and how long it's going to take for you to complete the trail that you want to do. You'll also want to know if it's a four-wheel drive path to get to the trailhead that you're going to. Get the weather forecast before you go out there, so you have to bring the right gear with you. If it's going to be stormy, you'll want to know that. You all know when the weather might turn bad, so you know when to turn around and when to get back and how to avoid all the nasty weather. And also let someone know where you're going and when you expect to get back. You might also have some check-in points that you will want to coordinate beforehand. Like for instance, my wife, I always send her a message every day if I'm on a multi-day backpacking trip, that it's a little check-in message telling her that I'm okay. Or you might want to arrange with, hey, I'll call you when I get back to the trailhead. And this is just to make sure that in case you're gone for an extended period of time, that time is reasonable, so that your loved ones don't call out, search and rescue when they shouldn't, or maybe call them out when they should. And the fourth thing you should know is that hiking is a bit of a sport. It demands physical and mental toughness. Sometimes it's more mentally demanding than physically demanding, and it can be dangerous. So I suggest preparing yourself physically and mentally before you head out. Start off slow by doing shorter hikes or less physically demanding hikes, less technical hikes, just to see if you're gonna like this. And then if you get the bug, go ahead and do some tougher hikes. But I would recommend that you don't jump in and do the most difficult, most demanding thing right away, because it might ruin it for you and you might get hurt. Just give yourself time. Give yourself time to experience this. Give yourself time to learn. If what you're planning is a long hike, like several days or weeks or even months, do some shakedown hikes. Break in your gear. Give yourself time to get used to the gear. Get used to doing what you're doing out there. Now, I'm not saying you have to be in top physical and mental shape to even go and try to start hiking. What I'm saying is be reasonable. Just know that this can get tough. Walking in nature looks easy, but it can be difficult because you're dealing with uneven terrain. You're dealing with sometimes difficult terrain. And you have extra weight on your back, and all that can result in what you're not used to doing. And then number 5 is to connect with a hiking community. Now, I hike solo most of the time these days, but when I first started out, it was really beneficial and very encouraging and motivating to be within a group of people that were experiencing this with me. Some of them were at the same level, some of them were at advanced level. So I had the opportunity to be encouraged by other people at my same level, but also learn from those who knew a lot more than I did. So it was a great learning experience. It really accelerated this whole experience for me. Now, there have been plenty of days along this 10, 15-year journey that I've been on where I just wasn't feeling it. And having that extra person along with me gave me the encouragement to get out there and just to get over yourself, because you know how fun this is. You know how great this is for you. Just get out there and do it. So just someone to remind me of why I was doing this and to just come along with me. Now, with any group, there's some negative nannies there. Some people that aren't positive people. And I don't want to say that in the hiking community there's a lot of that, but there certainly can be. I've experienced some. I would just encourage you, find your people. Surround yourself with those people that are positive, encouraging, uplifting, and motivating. It'll make all the difference in the world. Okay, so I'm David on Earth once again. Thanks for coming to my channel. I hope you found some good things here that you can use. If you did, go ahead and press the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. But mostly I just enjoy conversations. Go ahead and comment down below. I'll be glad to have a conversation with you. I'm sure others on this channel will as well. So, all right. So get out there and live like you want it. See you later.